Both those wickets, Sanjay, Pujara and Rohit, seemed like it was against the run of play, not the sort of relentless bowling we saw from Australia in the first innings or from Scott Boland. So let's go one by one. Let's start with Rohit Sharma and Nathan Lyon.
Rohit Sharma didn't put a foot wrong. I mean, his innings was, flawless. And again, it's very interesting how T20 cricket and Test cricket sometimes has absolutely no connection. Struggle in that very long IPL season and before that as well. Come Test cricket hasn't put a foot wrong before that happened. And that is something that happens when a spinner comes on and you play 3 quality seamers out and just something happens where you don't actually drop your guard, but you suddenly feel, maybe there's a chance here to get some runs, and the T20 white ball shot came out of the psyche of Rohit Sharma because the ball was just round the wicket, straight, nothing special there. It was just Rohit Sharma, maybe a lapse of concentration in a way, trying to get some runs, maybe a bit too eager. But once he went down on the knees, and much to his chagrin, the ball was a little shorter than he would have liked. If it was a bit fuller, maybe bat on ball and that shot would have been executed. So I have to call that a lapse of concentration. In a way, he just got a little maybe greedy to pick up a few quick runs.
Brad, your thoughts on that wicket? Nathan Lyon's a dangerous spinner to try and sweep in Australia. The sort of bounce that we've seen, was the shot on?
Oh, well, he's played it a number of times and you feel comfortable, but it just brought, that's exactly what Nathan Lyon wanted Rohit Sharma to do. He went around the wicket for that exact reason, to bring LBW into the game. I just think it's probably one that Rohit Sharma didn't need to play. He looked in total control. Nathan Lyon wasn't doing a lot off the wicket, but that was one way he was trying to get Rohit Sharma out. So 1-0 there to Nathan Lyon.
Do you sense that Rohit Sharma, there would be a frustration among some fans because, like you say, he looks so comfortable. He's seen out the tough phase. And often we've seen, Sanjay, that this happens where that lapse in concentration comes and he's out 43, 100 or an 80 not out, Rohit Sharma, and this is a different game. Does he just lack the concentration over sustained periods, even though he has had the odd good test innings, even in England?
It's very difficult to actually put it in a very simple way. With some batters, you can say that there is a genuine problem of lapse of concentration. These are guys who will get to 40, 50, 60 and get out. Now, this is a guy who's got 200s in his first 2 innings of his test career. So he knows how to get the big scores. And even in that series against England, the 4 test matches, he had 100 and an 80, but he looked $1 million right through the series. So this is not so much Rohit Sharma losing concentration, but I guess there is some difference in a Rohit Sharma playing in that fashion versus somebody like, say, a Virat Kohli in his prime, who is never going to give you a chance. Once he is in, he is in. He's top of his game, 400s against Australia in 2014, what was that? 2014.
Yeah.
So that is what Virat Kohli does. And you're sort of, talking about another exceptional player who looks set to get a big 100. So that's why Pujara and Rohit Sharma, 2 key batters who have the appetite to bat for time. That was a huge setback against the run of play, as you say.
If he's out caught trying to play the ram shot of Pat Cummins, it'd be good luck sitting next to Cheteshwar Pujara. But Brad Haddin, take me through that wicket.
Yeah, it's Pujara-like. The one thing I have noticed, he is looking to score a lot faster than he has previously. Where he's had a lot of success against Australia, he's just been like the Rock. He's just batted at one end. He's put a very, very high price on his wicket. Then Australia have had to try to work at the other end. So to me, it's just looked like he's just trying to overplay his hand rather than just make his wicket a really high price, which he has done in the past.
Sanjay.
Exceptionally good observation that today as well, when you saw him start off his inning, there was a back foot punch that he played very early in the innings. Now, when you see Pujara play one of his favorite shots, which is rocking back and hitting that ball to extra cover, he's generally batting on 55 or 60. That is the first time he plays that shot. So off late, it's true he got one of his fastest hundreds of his career recently in Bangladesh. Maybe he's realized at this stage of his career he can't be the blocker who keeps blocking, because maybe he feels there could be a ball that has his name on it. Few years back, he trusted his defense more. Because when you see Pujara in a test innings and he hasn't got off the mark for 30, 40 balls, those are danger signs for the opposition. Invariably, he'll get you a big one. And it's quite right. I mean, that shot was, again, Pujara making sure that he's not blocking everything and just wanting to get that scoreboard ticking for his own good. He didn't want to be 10 not out after 100 balls. He just wanted to get a little more. Not the right kind of pitch to play the ram shot, where a short ball tends to sort of go in a curve to the keeper. And when he played it, it almost got the inside edge of the bat. So these are shots best played when the ball is flying off the deck.
It's always hard to be too critical in a one-off test. But Cheteshwar Pujara is an experienced test batter. He spent a lot of time with Sussex. He's put on truckloads of runs there. Returns of 14 and 27 in a final. Not to mention both ways and he's been dismissed. That's very un-Pujara-like. As this has been a disappointing test for a player of Pujara's stature, isn't it?
Yeah, I find that unexpected, and that's why I'll never be critical if something that is unexpected, because Pujara is somebody over the years, and not just 10, 15 test matches, over a number of years has gone out there and, grinding away for India, taking body blows and played in one fashion. Now, if at all this is a plan to be a little more proactive, a little more attacking, that also comes from a very good place where he wants to contribute and get the best out of himself at this stage of his career. So, yeah, it happens. So, Pujara, 2 low scores, unexpected, a man in form, very dependable player, but I'm not going to be too critical because this is Pujara finding a way to survive and get runs.
I wonder, Brad, from an Australian point of view, how many times you've perhaps had the feeling, Mitch Starc, one of the great bowlers of his time, 300 plus test wickets, and yet you feel like, we know Starc could be expensive. But there are times when it just looks like Starc's not tuned in.
Yeah, it's interesting. The one thing about that, you say there, it feels like Mitchell Starc's not tuned in. Then all of a sudden he gets a wicket, he exposes the tail, and he ends the day with 4 wickets. So what he is he's a real strike force for the Australian team. He's a wicket taker. At times he's going to be expensive, but he's one guy, if he does get a wicket, he can get 2 wickets in an over. Things start to happen fast. So he did come up against 2 pretty good batters out there today that they're looking to score. But yeah, Mitchell Starc at times can be expensive, but he's a genuine wicket taker that can take multiple wickets and over. So I'm not too fussed about what's happened to Mitchell Starc today.
So you're happy to accept that package?
I mean, with due respect, this is a fantastic bowler that we're talking about. I can understand him going full and quick in the air, because that has been his great weapon. But when the ball is swinging and the ball hasn't swung at all for Mitchell Starc and for most others, guys who bowl full have got nothing. The best bowler from Australia has been one who's just kept it simple on shot of good length. The couple of balls that he bowled on a length, short of length in the first innings to Virat Kohli, really short ball, that got him a wicket. But somehow he's almost sort of compelled to try 2 very full deliveries. And for somebody like a Virat Kohli, who's already onto the front foot, he's like in a position to drive, to get a ball right under his bat. It didn't make any sense to me. So I just wonder whether the captain could on occasions tell somebody like a Steve Smith that on this kind of a surface, when there's no reverse swing, a guy who's already onto the front foot with a short of length ball that worked in the first innings, and a couple of balls actually just took off beautifully from a length, could be the ball. He's bowled, I think, 7 overs for 45 runs. I would have liked to see Cameron Green bowl more, because he would have exploited that length better. And somebody who's like a Virat Kohli, who wants to get forward, Cameron Green is the guy.
Make it awkward.
Short of length, a bit of bounce. And Nathan Lyon, 9 overs of off spin, round the wicket. The final one that he bowled to Ajinkya Rahane over the wicket, 3 times he troubled Ajinkya Rahane. So maybe one trick missed there as well.
Yes, Brad.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point with Mitchell Starc's length when the ball's not swinging. Yes, his strength's to get the ball nice and full, but when it's not swinging, he needs to pull his length back a little more, maybe use his short ball to a lot better effect. But yeah, you just need to pull that length back a little bit and get the ball going waist height through to the keeper.
जिसपे नाम सिर्फ एक का हो
लेकिन हो पूरे देश के नाम।
उस चीज को हाउ डू आई डिस्क्राइब इट इस जर्सी के लिए मेरे फीलिंग समझाना इम्पॉसिबल है
पर इसे पहन के
I feel just one thing, impossible
इज नथिंग